And we're back. Okay, for those of you that saw the last video I posted, I promised I would give you a little review of this book. The YouTube Formula by, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but I'm pretty sure it's Daryl is his first name, and the last name, I don't know if it's Eves, Evis, I really don't know. But here, let me hold that up so you can see it there. Derral, and his last name is spelled Eves. Highly recommended by, well, you should see the reviews and who they're from. Here, let me read you just one or two. The foreword is by someone that those of you who are familiar with YouTube should know, a certain Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson. He says, only one or two other people in the entire world understand YouTube on the level that Daryl does. I have one of the top 3 most watched channels on YouTube, and I still talk about YouTube data and strategy with Daryl because nobody is on the same wavelength as he is. Whether you have 5 subscribers or 5 million, you can learn how to be successful on YouTube by reading Daryl's book. Considering who Mr. Beast is, that's quite the glowing review. And the others are from other well-known, very successful YouTubers, and they have a lot of good things to say. So here's what I can tell you so far. I'm up to chapter 4, which, let me find that table of contents here real quick. The book is roughly just a hair over 300 pages long. Let's see. So I'm in part 1. The book is divided into parts. I've made it through the foreword and introduction. Excuse me. And I am in chapter 4. Yeah, no, this is right. Chapter 1 was Try, Fail, Analyze, Adjust, a YouTube history lesson. Very entertaining and interesting and very useful because as Daryl explains, knowing that history will help you understand, well, understanding what that history, not only what it is, but the nature of it, will help you understand how to grow your own YouTube channel or brand or even business at a very basic level. He gives you the history and he explains how, why, what happened, resulted in success for the creators behind YouTube. Chapter 2, the YouTube ecosystem. It's not as dry and boring as you might expect. You might think this thing is going to be just chock full of, the name formula, and chock full of boring, detailed, I need to know it, but it's going to be hard to grasp. No, it's really not so far. Maybe we get into that later, but as of chapter 4, I haven't hit anything about details on algorithms, what gets accepted, rejected. He does talk about what they're looking for, but in general, specific details. Chapter 2, the YouTube ecosystem, covers the very basic, and you could almost guess what the ecosystem is if you stop and think about it, but he gives you good details on it and explains why it works. Chapter 3, the YouTube AI, a deep learning machine, gives you explanation about how YouTube has become so successful in it, being able to recommend to you the next thing that you're going to want to watch. I wasn't a huge YouTube consumer other than when I needed to know something. So I wasn't on there enough to remember or to really take notice of the bad old days when the suggestion system was rather crude, apparently. But apparently it's gotten quite good at making good recommendations, and I can almost attest to that from, I have watched YouTube a lot more recently. I've been watching a lot of Myron Golden, who, by the way, I highly recommend, especially if you are an entrepreneur or would like to be an entrepreneur. If you are a Christian, he might offend you. Not because he is offensive, but because he opens scripture and is, sorry, I'm getting off topic. Let's get back to the book. Chapter 4, the algorithm breakdown. That's why I haven't handled that one yet. I just got through the deep learning machine part. But anyway, I'm up to chapter 4. It's not dry and technical. There's a lot of history in here, but it's not boring history. It's informative history that will help you understand how things got to where they are, and help you in understanding how they got to where they are. He also explains why things were done the way they were, why they worked out the way they were, why they succeeded, And it gives you great insight into understanding how YouTube works, why it works. Already I can begin to see the foundation of understanding that if I want to have my own channel, no, my own channel, that's not the point. If I want to help folks, which will mean having a channel, through YouTube, and in turn possibly make a living doing it, then I'm going to need to approach things in a particular manner. It's not a, well, there are details to be concerned with, but it's more, from what I've seen so far, it's more about principle and concept, in addition to, of course, following the rules, than it is. I remember the bad old days with pulling dirty black hat tricks to try to get your search engine optimization up. I was no specialist at it, but I dabbled a little bit, and yeah, I remember things like fields full of search terms in black text on a black background so that the visitor couldn't see them, but the search engine might see them. And then the search engines got smart and started penalizing you for that kind of thing. See, what they really want is for us to produce good content, not to try to trick people into connecting with us, but to help them find what they are looking for and provide them with what they are looking for, not something that we've tricked them into viewing. That's something that's covered, and I'd be willing to bet he's going to cover it quite a bit more. So anyway, my experience so far is I recommend it. Because of how long this is, and the parts keep getting, part 1 was 4 chapters, part 2 is 9, part 3 is 21. So I think I'm going to try to give you a review as I get through each part. The only reason I stopped at this point is because, 1, I needed to shoot some videos, 2, I needed to shoot some videos, and I was at a good stopping point between chapters. If I had actually looked ahead of time, I probably would have waited till I finished chapter 4, but we can cover that with the next review, and then I'll probably give you a summary review at the end. So thanks for taking the time to hear my opinion. Ran me all of $16 on Amazon, was delivered a day or two after I ordered it. Great book, and I'd recommend it. Not that my recommendation means much, but I hope my explanation of what I've found so far has been useful for you and given you some insight into the book. Feel free to comment, like or dislike as you will, and if you want to know more about what I'm up to. I don't do book reviews. I don't review anything yet. I don't really have a thing on YouTube yet. See my previous video for my word vomit on I don't know what I'm doing and I'm trying to figure it out, and here's what I'm interested in. And if you've got a minute, watch some of that and give me some feedback, because I'd like to know. Maybe some of the things I'm interested in are better covered than I realize already, and you can save us both some time. Or maybe there's some subsection that you're interested in. I don't know. I'm just getting started. But this was so good, I wanted to bring you a review, and I definitely could use your feedback. So, click the like button, subscribe, and whatever the other thing was. As Myron says, all the YouTube-y stuff that YouTube-y people do. I'm not that tech inept. I'm just not yet well-versed in YouTube yet. But I'm going to get there. So, bear with me, and we'll make progress together. Till next time.